All right, so next up we have the Toronto Raptors. They were in Charlotte taking on the Hornets, and was a back and forth game, a low scoring game that resulted in a Emmanuel Quickly game winning three ball to secure a win for the Raptors. Another come from behind victory for the Raptors, and a double digit comeback win too. And quickly, like called five, he called on God, and and the ball swished through the rim. Sebastian, what are your thoughts on Quickly's game winner and just the Raptor game victory last night?
Yeah, that was a very interesting game. I'll say that because it was a shaky start for them at first, and then they weren't hitting any threes. But then it came to the end, and then they made the biggest three. So quickly goes 3 for 11. But his third one was the most important one of all because he hit the game winner. But besides that, though, RJ in the fourth quarter, 16 of his, I believe, 28 points in the fourth, and Raptors shoot below, I believe it was 28% from three and win the game, which is very heard of in today's game because it's so 3-point dominant that no, like all these teams don't want to stray away from not shooting three. So the fact that they can still find a way to win games when not shooting at that high of a percentage from beyond the arc and still managing to win is very impressive in my opinion, to stray away from the main game style of the game. But it just goes to show
Mhm.
that one, that their defense has been very good, that it can keep up with all the other teams, and also that they're finding create more creative ways to win outside of just 3-point shooting. Like they're getting to the rim, they're getting mid-range shots. Like Brandon Ingram's been crazy from mid-range. He's been finding mid-range shots. They've been driving. They've been getting to the free throw line, but they just haven't been as reliant on the three, which isn't a bad thing at all. If you can find ways to win outside of the norm, and that's even better because then when teams play you, then they kind of don't know what to do because then you could drive, you could shoot mid ranges, you could shoot from beyond the arc, you could do all these different things. It makes you more versatile because they don't really know how to guard your team. So in a way, it's good, and in another sense, it isn't because if you play a team that kind of like forces you to shoot the three, and if you're not as accurate, then that might cause some problems. And also, you're not going to be as consistent all the time. So something's not going to be working one night that it did the other night too. So you never really know kind of what you're going to get with any team, no matter who it is. So you could say that about Golden State, you could say that about Denver, you could say that about anyone. You never know what you're going to get every game. So that was interesting. And Ingram gets injured too, which I did not see that one coming. He was very healthy from game one, and he's played every single game. And he's been, in my eyes, he's been an all star for sure. Um, getting getting like 20 plus almost every game, which has been great too. But it's just very unfortunate at this time too. He hasn't. It's not even halfway the season. He's already got injured, so it's not a good good luck for the Raptors. But I'm just hoping that this doesn't drop them in the standing. That it doesn't impact them as much as I think it will, because he's a huge part of their offense and how their offense works. And I'm hoping it just doesn't stray them away from their game plan and take them off course of what they're already doing. So, but overall, though, great entertaining game, though, very back and forth, a lot of
Yeah.
fast break scoring and everything. What do you think? What do you think about that Ingram injury, though? Do you think it will impact them, like to the point where it'll drop them in the standings, or how do you see that playing out for the Raptors there?
Yeah, like hopefully he's not out for long. But if he's out for a week or more, then it will affect the Raptors in terms of, them being able to win a lot of ball games. Because like we've seen already of when RJ Barrett was injured, that the Raptors, they were a much different team without RJ Barrett. And then, so if they were to go through that with Ingram, then yeah, because you lose like over 20 points a game, and that's hard to duplicate. Now, hopefully, the Raptors could withstand it, but it'll be a tough challenge. But I give credit to the Raptors the last night. That was a good character win, like it showed their character where they were still able to find a way to win with Ingram missing most of the game, with Barnes missing half of the fourth quarter. Um, and yeah, and quickly that was a big, much needed shot, and then hopefully, because quickly he's been up and down this season, going through struggles, and hopefully that game winner can boost his confidence to like, you know what, see the ball went through, and now he'll just be ready to go, and hopefully can pick up, the slack if in fact, Ingram is out long term.
So if he's out longer term, or for example, if Pirtle's still injured, like closer to the halfway point of the season, do you think the Raptors should trade for example, like another, like depends who it is, if it's Ingram, another forward, or if Pirtle's injured, another center, or should they just go after bench players because their bench could use some upgraded depth as well, or who do you think the Raptors should go for if they potentially make a deal in the future?
Yeah, like another power forward center would be very beneficial to the Raptors. And then just becomes a question of like, okay, who do you want to get, and how much are you willing to give up?
Okay.
Right now, if they were to try and get Anthony Davis, for example, Dallas will be asking for a good amount, and with Davis, injury prone history, that's would be a big gamble. Or do you try and take a lower risk and Kristaps Porzingis? Because I do see the Hawks trading him, and like okay, he hasn't played a lot, and like he also has his injuries too, but you wouldn't have to give up a lot to get him, and he could surprise, and maybe he could capture some of his magic that he had when he was at the New York Knicks. But he's an option to Porzingis. Like I think I guess if between those two, a more realistic option would be Porzingis. But yeah, like that would be a good addition to the Raptors, in my opinion.
Well, they did have rumors already. Obviously, we none of us know if it's true or not because Raptors like to keep everything silent all the time, obviously, as we know. But they did mention Anthony Davis and Sabonis. I think if I had to choose between both of them, I feel like uh, I like I like Anthony Davis if they're trying to go for a more defensive outlook, but if you're trying to get like more of an how can I word this? Like an more of a like an overall player. I feel like Sabonis might
Mm,
be the better option because then he's a triple double capable player where he could rebound, score, and pass. It's all at the same time. We're basically like another Scotty out there. Having two of them would be crazy, but at the same time, if you have Anthony Davis and they can revive him like what they did with Kawhi, then you could have a crazy defensive lineup of Scotty, Anthony Davis, and Brandon Ingram as well, which would be another insane thing. And then if you have Boyles as well, they could have one crazy defensive lineup right there. But it all depends how they look at their team and or how they want their team to look like past the deadline. But those
for
are
sure.
two really good options that they have there, or a couple at least if you include Porzingis as well. Porzingis could would be good as well, but
Yeah.
I'm not too sure if he still has that same spark in him that he did like with Boston when they won and everything. Like he was he was at a different level then, and when I saw him play against the Raptors in Atlanta, he just didn't look the same. So I'm not too sure if that injury like derailed him or something, but something just looked off with his game now. So, and I'll be honest too, I completely forgot he was even on Atlanta until I saw him come
Yeah.
out on that team. So it honestly surprised me. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully we end up with one of those guys though. Like I think one of those guys will benefit. But if not though, if they go the route like Malik Monk, something like that, or Keon Ellis from Sacramento, that would work out too. Either one of those guys I think would be good. And the same thing too, like it depends if they want to be more defensive minded or offensive minded. So Uh, if they want Monk, then obviously more offensive, and Ellis for defensive purposes. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out and how they want their team to look at past the deadline there.
for sure. And also, like before you got injured, like I would have said, Jonas Valanciunas.
Oh
Like
yeah,
if the Raptors were to get him back, because Valanciunas on this Raptor team, like would be a
beneficial. Yeah,
good addition, for
no,
sure. And it would also be a low cost too, where not much would be needed to bring Valanciunas back. But obviously that injury derailed that.
yeah. That's not his injury is very unfortunate, especially playing back where he got drafted and then getting injured on the same court where he started. And oh, it's just so so unfortunate for the guy. And he's such a good player too, and guy that can give you like 10 and 10 every game. If you play it, if you give him the minutes, like he'll give you a double double like every game if you give him enough time. But it just unfortunate too. He had that opportunity too when Jokic went down, and then this was his time to shine on Denver, and then just got cut short, unfortunately. But I know he'll come back and be better. He's been a true professional for his entire career. I know at the end of this season they were talking about how he didn't want to go to Denver and whatever. I don't believe that at all. I think he was just honestly just weighing his options, seeing what they wanted to offer him or whatever. And at the same time, he's just showing respect to teams that are interested. Like if that was me, I'd probably do the same thing, just give them the time of day because a lot of guys probably won't even do that and they'll just look the other way. So it's good of him that he gave all of his opportunities or all of his suitors a chance to sign him. So
True, true.